Welcome to the Dog Chug Dogcast. Roger, how are you doing?
Andy, I'm doing great tonight. How about yourself?
And your video looks amazing. The clarity.
I'm actually lying to you.
Yeah? Wait, you're lying about what?
I'm feeling a little under the weather. I jacked up my shoulder at work. I'm a train wreck.
Jeez. Well, it sounds like you need a nice tall glass of whiskey. It'll knock whatever's ailing you, and it'll make your shoulder feel better. Promise.
There you go.
Well, I got to ask
I'm
the
excited.
question.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What were your thoughts on Sunday? I mean, I want to hear what Roger felt like watching that game.
About that game. At no point in that game did I think we were going to lose that game until we lost. You know what I mean? It felt like we were in complete control. I mean, the running game was just going. It was just I sat back and I thought, okay, this one might go a lot, closer than I thought. But I just never thought we were going to lose that game until we lost. You know what I mean? I was sitting there in disbelief.
We felt in complete control, and we were giving up like 50-yard touchdowns to wide open guys.
Yeah, from what I've read, that was Delpit and rookie mistake, getting his eyes caught, different levels or something, keeping his eyes, locking in on somebody. You know what? There was a lot of things in that game that need to be cleaned up. And, we went over 500 yards, 40-some points, and a loss to one of considered the best teams in the AFC, one of the teams we're going to be battling, for a playoffs. It's week 5. It's week 5. If they're doing that in week 10, week 11, then we have an issue, So, hey, and besides that, Dan had this already down as a loss, so that makes me Dan called it. So it makes me feel better.
Our friend Dan in our chat must have pointed out that he had this as a loss in his rankings. He might have mentioned it 15 times, and I don't know. We've been making fun of him about it ever since.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. They are one of the best teams. However, man, their run defense is awful. That was a fun team to run against. I will enjoy playing them in January. Let's be honest. That's going to be our time. And look. I really wanted to watch an elite Browns team this season, and I think we're going to see an elite Browns team this season. But week 5, we ain't that. So it's going to take a little bit of time, obviously.
Yeah. In San Diego, are they saying, wow, look at our defense. We gave up 4,500 yards, 40-some points. You know what I mean? They pretty much got it put on them, too. And nobody's saying, but they got the W, but they got the win.
Yeah, they won. They don't care. It's like that Ravens game. They played terrible against the Colts all game, and then in the end, they kicked ass and they won the game. And it's like, it just makes me sick.
Yeah.
But we are a steady team. We have a guided hand in Stefanski, and he is going to continue to get us better, I think, each and every week. I'm seeing improvement. I'm also seeing, one step forward, 2 steps back a couple times, but it's all going to work itself out. I have faith. So
it's a long season, Andy, and you look back at last year and things got rough. I mean, we're not getting smoked by Pittsburgh or Baltimore. You know what I mean? Last year we got smoked, and I was in the Upper Peninsula that day. I drove from the Upper Peninsula to about the middle of Michigan and got to my sister-in-law's house with the family just in time for kickoff. And I made them get out of bed from the hotel, get in the car, drive 4 hours to come back down out of the peninsula. And I sit down and he throws that pick the first one. We're not getting beat up that bad. It's look at the 2 losses we have. We're against 2 of the best teams in the AFC, and they were within, a couple points. So
it still sounds like we're being losers. I don't like it.
I know. I always look for the silver lining.
So I was very excited that our good friend of the show, Kyle Pringle, is going to join us for a minute to basically we're going to come up with a drinking challenge between him and I. That was something that we've been long discussing. Unfortunately, he fell asleep again, so he's not going to come on and do that. So if anyone could reach out to Kyle and encourage him to get on the show one of these weeks and come up with a fun drinking challenge for me and him, that would be fun. We're trying to do shenanigans on the show, and I'm a little disappointed that it's just been, horrible podcasting. I want to up it with some fun shenanigans. So anyway, we do have an amazing guest. He's coming back from, week 2. A good friend of mine. And Roger, I'm really excited. I want to give you a chance to interview him when we bring him on, because I don't think the audience knows him very well. There's like 5 people that are like, who is this guy? Well, this is the chance to find out exactly what makes Mike Crutchfield tick. So let's bring him on right now. Let's try and have some fun here. Welcome to the show, Mike Crutchfield.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Oh.
You're clutch tonight. Right, Andy? He's clutch. There we go.
He is clutch. I will say Mike was very emotional through texting after the game, so I'm sure you have a lot of good thoughts. I know you listen to us make all these excuses. What are your thoughts about Sunday?
Oh, man. I take, it was a brute. I mean, it felt all Sunday like a missed opportunity. Like, I just felt like I wanted a redo. Pressing. I took some comfort in it definitely being the best game of the whole week. I mean, you can't deny that. Even the Monday night game or, Baltimore Colts, you can say, well, they just played terrible. They just had a great finish.
Yes.
But our game had everything in it. It was exciting. But I'd really like to see them end up on the right side of those epic battles. Like we've had 2 of them. And we're on the short.
That one in the Ravens game last season, the Kansas City game, obviously. Yeah, we gotta close out. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so I was pretty sad. I was depressed. I mean, that was a game I wanted bad after it started. I was like, we got to beat these guys. So.
Well, you really brought the fire tonight.
What did you want me to say?
I want to get a little bit of emotions. Mike Crutchfield, when he talks games, he's a passionate man. I'm not seeing any passion.
I mean, I was ticked off about the pass interference on Green was terrible. And that's the thing that was tough about that game. There were at least 3 points in that game where if the play goes the other way, that could be our chance for victory.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. It was a very emotional game. I was very drained at the end of that game, more so than I've been in a while.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I did say I want more shenanigans on the show, and I have to stop waiting for Kyle Pringle to do it. So I've had these in my fridge for a while. Bud Light seltzers come out with new flavors every week, and sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're lame, but they literally came out with a 4-pack that looked like the worst thing mentionable. So I thought, how much fun would it be to drink these on the show? The 4 flavors are apple crisp, puke, maple pear, yeah, that's what I want beer to taste like, pumpkin spice, and last but not least, toasted marshmallow. I gotta ask, what do you guys think would be the worst of those 4? Crutch, we'll start with you.
Toasted marshmallow.
Yeah, I agree. Roger, what do you think?
I agree with both of you, definitely.
Well, I think they all sound terrible, so I'm not really looking forward to drinking any of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine them all into this container, this awesome Browns container, and then I guess I'm going to drink them all at the same time. That should be fun, right? But before I do that, I do want to ask Crutch, I've known you a long time. I've never seen you wear glasses. It freaks me out a little bit, but why are you wearing glasses?
Well, I'll tell you, these are Blu-ray glasses, and watching your podcast hurts my eyes so much. I got to have some type of protection to protect my eyeballs.
Is it our podcast specifically, or is it just watching something on the laptop?
No, it's your podcast specifically.
So we need to mess with the colors. You don't like our color scheme.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. I don't know where Roger went. Oh, he's over there. Roger prepared a bunch of questions to ask you because at the end of the day, who is Mike Crutchfield? I've known you, what, 20
I had a
years?
fix this, Andy. We had a little technical difficulties on my end. I prepared some questions for you.
All right. Hold on.
That way we can get to
Slow
know
down a little bit there, Roger.
better.
I've known Mike, before you begin, I've known Mike, I think 22 years. We went to OU together. And one of my best friends is in my wedding. I don't know you at all. So, yeah, Roger, this is your chance to ask him 5 questions. They could be anything. They could be football related. You can ask him about BJ stories. I mean, whatever you want. Mike's an open book. He will answer. And while he does that, I'm going to prepare my horrible, horrible concoction. So, Roger, I'm turning it to you.
All right, Mike. He told me I can ask anything. So I made a little mix of some football and some other stuff. And
Okay.
I just kept it. When the Browns left, had they never returned, this is a 2-part question too, by the way. I'm going to ask you the first part, answer it, and then I'll give you the second part. You can answer that. They kind of go together. When the Browns left, and had they never returned, would you have adopted another team, and what team would that have been? Bills bandwagon.
Oh man. I don't think so. I think I would have made Ohio State my number 1, and I would just be a casual NFL fan. I mean, when they left, the year that after they left, I barely watched any football, any NFL. So I don't see myself picking up another team. I'd just be like a average NFL fan.
I'm with you. We went up to Buffalo for a bunch of games, and just a tailgate, and I tried to get into the Bills, and I figured they're just like Cleveland, Buffalo cities, and I just stopped in it. The heart has to be in it. Here's the second part. Or would it have been better if that scenario happened and we didn't get a football team, the Browns and all the history, to have been awarded a true expansion franchise, a new name, new colors? Would you have supported and followed them, and would you have been invested in that team? You've been able to pick up with the Cleveland Bulldogs or something,
Ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one. I think so. It would be hard. I mean, I'm going to give it all I got with the Guardians and adapting, that. But I think there's a little bit that, as a kid watching Bernie Kosar and Kevin Mack, that would hurt a little bit not to call them the Browns.
Right. And what if they were 20 years? Would it be invested in it at 16? You know what I mean? We got lucky because some cities like St. don't have that luxury. By keeping our history and our heritage. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the second one. I want you to define for me what you believe a franchise quarterback is, and does Baker Mayfield fit into your definition of a franchise quarterback?
Jesus. These questions. I mean, a franchise quarterback is a guy that the whole team believes in, and can rally the support of the team and elevate the team to win games that you think they can't possibly win. I think Baker is a franchise quarterback. I believe in him. It's kind of one of those, intangible type things. So, I mean, I don't really know what a franchise quarterback is. If you're Weems,
Right.
You're a franchise quarterback.
Exactly. It's everybody has a different definition, a vague description. What is to me is different from what it means somebody else. He's got heart. He wanted to be. That's good. He beat Pittsburgh in a playoff game. That's good enough for me. All right, we're going to move on. And I got a couple of Browns question. I'm going to get into some other stuff here. Andy said I can ask you anything. So here's question number 3. Since answer is created when two matter particles are slammed together at high velocities, could the vice versa work and create matter?
Oh man, I was hoping you're going to ask me if I knew where Kareem Hunt grocery shopped.
No, he said I can ask you anything, so I figured I'd try. How about this one? How come the protons in the nucleus of an atom do not spin around like the electrons do? Do you know why that happens? Because I don't. These are things that I want to know, and no? All right, I'll save these for another guest.
No idea.
Okay.
Sorry.
You told me I can
Can't
ask
help
you
you
there. All right, here we go. Here's a good one. You're on vacation, Mike, and you're in China. And you walk into your hotel room, and you see the dead body of a Chinese citizen that you were in a public altercation with earlier that day, but you didn't kill him. What would you do?
Hide the body and run. I'd stuff him in a closet, and I'd try to get the hell out of Dodge.
Get on the first plane to America before they get you.
Yep.
All right. Do you or don't you believe in Joe Woods, and why?
I believe in. Yeah, I think. I mean, I like what he's doing. I think the defense had a rough day, but I don't think it's going to come together all. It's not going to. It's not like you're going to have a great defense, and then that defense is going to be great every single day. There's going to be days where they have bad days, and you also have Delpit is virtually a rookie as your safety. I mean, he's going to make terrible mistakes that cost you big. Like, I was watching the Colts game, and I was watching. I'd like where we are now. I was watching Sendejo miss tackles all over the place on Monday night. So, yeah, I believe in him. I think yesterday's game or Sunday's game was just a bad day, and they can write it.
I agree with you. It's not playing Madden here. You pick it. You got a defense or a good defense on Madden out of the gate. They're elite. In real life, You got to build up to that. Okay, here's my last one. Right? Okay, this is a shot out of the cannon. Oprah, Barbara Walters, B. Arthur. You got to fuck one, marry one, kill one, go.
Holy cow! Wait, who?
Oprah, Arthur, and
Barbara Walters and B. Arthur. Maud.
All right, I'm marrying Oprah because she's got the money. B. Arthur. Well, isn't she passed away already? I'm knocking her off.
Did she pass away? I don't think so. Did she?
Oh, I don't know. And then Barbara Bush, I guess. I'm hitting it.
Barbara Walters was the.
Oh, it's Barb. Okay, Barbara Walters. I'm hitting that. Either way, it doesn't matter.
It depended on if B. Arthur was dead or not, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's really huge.
Andy, you know where that's from, right?
The F.
It's a job interview.
Good. Well done. All right. Well, I think the audience doesn't know Crutch any more at all than when we started, but that's the kind of quality you get on the Dog Chug podcast.
That's right.
We're going to move on. We're going to play my favorite game, Spit, Sip, Chug. And I've got 5 great questions. Crutch, are you aware of the game? I don't think we've talked about this one. I'm basically going to ask you a question. If you're all in, then you're going to say you chug on that one. You're going to explain why. If you're kind of lukewarm, you're going to sip. And if you are way against whatever I'm saying, you spit.
Okay.
And then we'll all go around and have some fun here. So, first question. Browns had the ball with 3 minutes left and the lead, and we didn't execute. Is our offensive play calling overrated? Crutch, we're going to start with you.
I'm gonna sip. I think at times Stefanski's got in his head a little bit. Some of the calls just don't make any sense. In fact, I texted you. I didn't like those play calls. They didn't make a lot of sense. Sometimes I feel like he's overthinking things a little bit. So, but I think he's going to learn and adapt and get better. So I'm not totally discouraged.
Okay. I am also sipping one because I agree. Like, I think my thought with this game was if they hit that extra point and we were tied, I felt like the offense was going to continue to be aggressive. But as soon as we had the lead, I was like, oh no. And we're going to get conservative now. And that is absolutely what they did. And we basically gave them a chance to win the game. I wish we had been more aggressive. I wish they had hit that extra point. I wish we did not have the lead going into that 3-minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I am sipping as well. I think when we have the lead, we play too conservatively. Roger.
I'm also going to sip on it. I think he gets conservative. I think being a play caller, and what the hell do I know about play calling? But I think it gets to the point where you got a feel for the game. And I think sometimes Stefanski relies too much on the analytics, and I'm a big believer in it. All the more information you can have about what your task at hand, the better off you're going to be to accomplish that task. So I think sometimes he falls back onto it to where 39. I think that he just needs to go with his gut sometimes and have that feeling in the game. Like you said, where we were at in that game and the plays that he called didn't make sense tells me that he didn't have a feel for it, or he wasn't in the moment of that game. You know what I mean? Where he reverted back to looking at his chart, what works on 2nd and 10, instead of having a feeling of what's been working, etc. So I'm going to sip on it too.
All right, we all sipped. Great. Question number 2. The AFC North is the best division in football. I will start this one, and I am definitely not chugging because I can't even explain how terrible this is. I am going to actually spit on this one. I think the AFC North is overrated. I think the Bengals are about to start plummeting down to earth. Steelers looked pretty good against Denver, but they're just going to be so inconsistent this season, and Ravens are playing really well, sort of, I guess, and the Browns have ways to go. I think the NFC West would be my favorite division right now, how everyone's playing. Roger, I'm going to turn to you.
I'm also going to spit on that at one point. And, sometimes I wonder if it always was. And from our point of view, the AFC North, and 20 years of getting our asses kicked, seemed like the best division in football. Maybe it was, but, the Browns were never good. So, really, if Cincinnati was having a good year, there were 3 good teams in the North, and but I definitely don't believe that today. I think, like Andy said with Cincinnati, Burrow had a lousy game. He drew a pick that could have lost him. They ended up losing that anyway. And Pittsburgh, forget Pittsburgh. That's a dumpster fire right now. And it's just 2 teams, and a lot of divisions have 2 good teams in it. So yeah, I'm gonna spit on that too.
Crutchfield.
All right, I'm going to sip. It might not be the best division, because I think that's got to go to one of the West. But NFC West. But I think it's the most interesting division.
All right.
With Browns and Baltimore. I think that's going to be an epic battle to see who wins and who loses and maybe doesn't make the playoffs.
Okay. We're going to move on. The Scottish Hammers, his play declined last season after a pretty good rookie year, and this year he's been one of the worst punters in the league. So are you chugging on Scottish Hammers' future, sipping, or are you spitting? Roger, we're going to start with you.
I'm going to sip and just wait to see what happens. The season's early. Early in the season, and I like to give every player, give people a chance to to work things out and get going. And again, if we're in week 10, week 11, and we're seeing this, and then, that's an easy call. So I'm going to sip on it right now.
Crutchfield.
I'm spitting on his future. He's in his head. It's not good. Ever since he dropped the snap, his punts are terrible. And I always thought kicking, field goals was mental. He might need a fresh start because it doesn't look good. And he's costing us games because he cost us against the Chargers. And he cost us against KC.
Yeah. I am also going to spit on this one. I think Scott Shammer was such a cool story. He seems like such a cool guy, but man, it's been just, you can see the steady decline. We're continuing to trend in the wrong direction. There has to be someone out there that can punt better than the Scott Shammer right now. So I'm spitting, and I want Andrew Berry to start working on upgrading our punter situation, like he did our kicker situation. Mm-hmm. Moving on. The Browns will be looking like an elite football team before October is over. Are you chugging that statement, sipping that statement, or spitting on that statement? Crutch, you're up.
All right. Oh, I'm chugging on that. I think they're an elite team right now.
All right.
Things are not that bad. We just have tough games.
That is true. I am going to sip on that. I think the Browns have not played like an elite team. I think they're playing like a very good team. They're taking care of business, but I want to see them play a lot better than they have so far. And I just don't think it's going to happen by October. I think where you need to get to like November territory. I think the last season you sort of saw this. The Browns, once they got to mid-season, they sort of put it into a different gear and never really looked back. I think we need to get to November. So, Roger, what do you think?
I'm with you, Andy, on that. I'm going to say it's a long season. I hate making – with the last question with Gillian, he was just out there getting the ball. There's a difference between a guy that throws a baseball and a guy that pitches a baseball. And it's the same thing with punting. Kicking the ball and punting the ball, he has no technique. It doesn't look like anybody's showing him any. So it's the same thing. I don't like to make a rash judgment and say, I'm going to sip on that and give it a little time.
All right. And finally, the last question of this edition of Spit, Sip, Chug. The offense is missing something major when Jarvis Landry is off the field. I'm going to start on this one, and I've been a very believer that, Jarvis is overpaid, and, we're paying him way too much money for his production. But I got to say, there feels like there's something missing when he's out there. I don't know if it's those intangibles where he's getting guys to get pumped up, to get focused, to get lined up correctly. I just am not seeing the same intensity when he's not out there. So I'm hoping we get Jarvis back on the field this week because I think we need him more than I thought we did. Roger.
I was a big hater, I guess you would say, of Odell Beckham. And I started to believe in him this year, and just by how hard he worked to get back. And this team has too much talent for him he's not the focal point of the offense. There's a lot of talent that spread the ball around. This offense doesn't go through wide receivers, and there is something missing with the chemistry. Either Baker doesn't read him right I think that he's not disciplined like a quarterback like Baker Mayfield needs. This is the pattern. This is where you go and you be there, and that's where the ball's going to be. And Beckham just simply doesn't do that. He sees something and he'll take off, and that's what happened. When he took off. He knew that he had the guy beat, so instead of doing the out, the deep out back shoulder, he went long. Mayfield put the ball where he thought he was going to be, where he should have been according to the play. I just don't think it's working. It has nothing to do with Odell. I think he needs to be there somewhere where he's the focal point and he's the man. And I think that Baker just I think he's. I don't think he's feeling the pressure, but it just. I don't know, man. It's not working. How much longer do we have to keep trying? So, I guess I'm spitting on that then, right?
I mean, I guess so. I don't even know why we're talking about Odell. I thought the question was about Jarvis.
This is what we start.
See,
This is why the show is the best. We ask questions and then we get other answers. I love it. This is hilarious. Crutch, let's go to you.
All right, I'm chugging. Here's my thing. What if?
Can you please answer this question as if I asked about Donovan Peoples-Jones?
He's a dynamic. No, I'm sticking with Jarvis. Think about this: if Jarvis was on the field and it was that 4th down, how comfortable would you be that he makes that catch?
Oh, he's not dropping that catch. That was the most infuriating.
Yeah,
we've been waiting so long. I have so much faith in Odell, but that drop was just whatever. It was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, Jarvis is the guy that if you need that catch, it might not be a deep ball. It's not going to be, an 80-yard bomb. But if you need that cross the middle, 4-yarder, 5-yarder, yeah, throw it to him. He's going to get it. So I'm chugging.
All right. Well, that was another fantastic edition of Spit, Sip, Chug. Thank you, everyone. We're going to move on to... Oh, this is going to be fun. Crutch, I'm not sure if you're even aware of this little challenge that we've been talking about. So Ed in Columbus, who I think you're aware of, right?
Yeah, we're Twitter buddies now.
Yes, Ed's amazing. He talks a lot. We started to make fun of him because his wife has like double the Twitter followers that he has. And we've been talking a lot about why his wife has more Twitter followers than he does. And ultimately it came, we started wondering, is it because it's easier to get Twitter followers as a woman maybe? We're very misogynistic on this podcast, by the way. Who knows? So we wanted to scientifically decide, how can we determine who's the better Twitter follower, Ed or his wife, Kelly? So what we did was, offline, we asked them 5 Browns questions, and we're going to play their answers, and then the 3 of us are going to say, Ed had the better answer here, or Kelly had the better answer here. And whoever gets 3 points is going to be declared the Dog Chug Twitter follower you should follow over the other one. Mm-hmm. So, great name. So anyway, let's bring this up. Let's see. Add source. Local video. Very technical over here. Here it is. All right, great. Got it up, ready to come up. I have to mute my microphone when I play any audio or else it gets all messed up. I did tell the guys, tell Ed and Kelly, be succinct with your answer, try and inject a little bit of humor in, and be a good Browns person that answers this question. So I want you to listen very carefully. This is going to be very boring, but you have to judge who had the better answer, Ed or Kelly. I'm going to start with the first question, and I'm going to play Ed's answer, and then I'm immediately going to play Kelly's answer, and then the 3 of us are going to judge. Does everyone understand? Does anyone have any questions?
Nope, I'm good.
Well, here we go. I'm muting myself. Sum up the importance of Stefanski and Anderberry and what they mean to this team.
They mean direction. They mean continuity. They mean smart people in the building that don't always use emotion, something that we haven't always had in the past. Even going back to the Art Modell days, Art was known to be a little bit, dramatic. Phil Savage wasn't as much. He just made bad decisions. Ray Farmer sweated so bad we couldn't really tell which direction he was going to go in. He just didn't like wide receivers. Hugh Jackson and that whole debacle was just, 1 in 31. That's a mess. So what they bring, smart, intelligence, and winning. That's what they bring, winning. And youth. Nothing wrong with being young. The youth is served.
Stefanski is pretty much like the heart and soul and is the working pieces. Andrew Barry's like the brains of the operation because he's the one who put it all together. So without that, I honestly, Andrew Barry is one of my faves because I love what he's done for our team. And I'm a big Kevin Stefanski fan, even though, oh, that's my man. That's like my boyfriend for real. But Ed was really hard on him last week. So he was riding me hard because he didn't like the play calling, which I'm not a big fan of your head coach being a offensive coordinator as well. I'd rather you just do your job and then let somebody else. That's why we have all those positions.
All
So
right.
that would be my answer.
Okay. They both answered the question. Sum up the importance of Stefanski and Barry and what they mean to this team. Crutch, I'm going to start with you. Who had the better answer? Was it Ed or was it his beautiful wife, Kelly?
Kelly, hands down. At some points, yeah, I mean, it was just easier on the ears.
Roger, what say you?
I'm going to give this to Ed, and I'm going to do it because one key, everything Kelly said was right on, but she is missing one thing, and that was Paul DePodesta. You know, I think him and Andrew Barry together, and I think he is a big part of it. So, and what she said, yeah, I'm going to give it to Ed. I'm going to give this one to Ed.
I mean, I kind of got to go bullshit on you. I don't think either of them mentioned Paul DePodesta.
It's true.
If I'm Ed right now, or if I'm Kelly, I'm pissed. I'm pissed right now. I'm pissed at you. I am going to also go Kelly on this one because I don't know why Ed felt the need to, like, I'm asking him why is Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barry great? He talked for like 20 seconds about all the other asshole coaches James we had. I don't understand that. So I'm going Kelly. All right. Let's move on. So Kelly won that round. She is now winning 1-0. Okay. So now we're going to go on to question 2. I'm going to mute myself. Browns fans are the best in the league because of our unflinching support. We're humble, and we have a very high football IQ. Will we be able to maintain our number 1 rankings when the Browns have a decade of prosperity and success?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This being a Browns fan is something you're born into, and it's passed down from generation to generation to generation. And that's part of why we are who we are. I mean, there's a lot of people that are just bandwagon. They go with whoever's good, whatever. My son was little, like, Mom, why do we root for a team that's never going to win? It's what we do, son. It's what we do. Put your Browns gear on every Sunday and watch the loss.
You know, I believe so. It's nothing the world has seen in decades. I think that, you know, just like with the Cubs were lovable losers and then they win the World Series and then everybody hates them. I think we're getting some Browns backlash now. But I will say one thing. I think Browns fans, you know, just like Ohio State fans, I think that we're going out and being proactive and attacking, like, per se, like the Pittsburgh fans. You know, we got one playoff victory and, you know, however long, and they got, you know, 6 Super Bowl rings, but that doesn't stop us. You know, we're going to go out and go on the attack because, you know, we're fanatics. That's fun. And I'll say one thing about Browns fans. I don't care what other fans and fan bases have, Bill's Mafia with their tables and everything. Nobody beats a Cleveland Browns fan. And I think in this next decade of winning, we're going to show that we can win with class. But even if we don't, they can kiss our ass.
Oh, you're still muted.
Yeah, thank you for that. Sorry about that. We're going to start with you again, Crud. Who had the better answer there?
Oh boy. Oh man. I don't want to seem like I'm piling on Ed here, but he's saying we attack people, but yet we win with class. I love his thought process, but it doesn't make sense. I don't really. I mean, I feel him. I support him, but his answer, when you compare it to his wife, is just.
You know, and plus, to be fair, you didn't mention Paul DePodesta.
Yeah.
What say you?
I got to go with Kelly on this one. Ed lost me a Buckeye fan. Yeah, I'm giving this one to Kelly. Just the minute he associated me with those people, I was out. Give it to Kelly.
All right. My answer is sort of meaningless here, but I am going with Ed because I felt he told a better story on this one. He was a little long-winded, but I'll give him that. Doesn't matter anyway. Kelly gets the second point. She is 1 away from winning, which is pretty phenomenal. All right, we're going to move on to question 3. There's so many great personalities that are productive on the Cleveland Browns, but who is your favorite member on the roster and why?
It's Baker Mayfield, and I know there's the Baker apologists and the Baker haters. The one thing they have all in common is you can't reason with either one of those sides. But I like his personality. I like the fact that he does include winning with Cleveland, even when he was at the Indians games, and now the Guardians moving forward. It'll be PC. But I do like the fact he's a good guy. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people root for Baker because at the end of the day, he's a good guy. He's a good dude, and we can see that Cleveland people are genuine. As I am a Northeast Ohioan, born Cleveland, Ohio, on my birth certificate, so I know what good people are. I'm speaking with one right now, and that's why we love Baker Mayfield as well because he's one of us. He's one of us, but he's from Texas. But he's a good guy.
Jarvis Landry. I've been a big Jarvis Landry fan because I felt like he was the one, like when he called everyone out. I don't know what you're saying, Ed. But I'm a Jarvis Landry fan. I know he got injured and everything, and that's been kind of a downfall. And I think that has really played an impact on the offense because you can tell our offense has not been as good as it was when he was out there. And he does call people out, and he brings out the best, and he blesses them.
All right. Question number 3, who had the better answer? 2, who is your favorite member of the Browns and why? Crutch.
All right. I'm going to give this one to Ed. Partially, a pity point, but I think, throwing him a bone. But it was a good answer.
All right. Roger?
Ed wins this one. You got to have a leader on a football team, and that's what Baker Mayfield is. Those guys follow him, and he renewed my love for the Cleveland Browns, after that misery of Kitchens and Jackson and everybody else. Getting him lit a fire. All the other artists did a lot, but Baker Mayfield, I'm going to go with Ed.
All right. This is going to be a clean sweep here. Baker Mayfield can chug a beer really, really well, as evidenced from the Indians game. I don't know if Landry can drink a beer. I've never seen it. So I like when people talk pro Baker. So I'm definitely going with it on this one. So right now it's 1-2, Ed. Let's move on to question 4. And I will say, my goodness, this is going to be a little bit bad, but question 5, holy shit. When Ed talks, it's time to go get a beer or do something, or maybe go trim your nails. I don't know. What you're going to experience on question 5, if you think this is bad, we're going to lose our entire audience because he's going to go on for about a 15-minute long-winded explanation. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait. Anyway. True, false, or incomplete? Mayfield is a franchise quarterback.
I say incomplete on that because I've seen some days where I've thought he was, and then lately I've seen, and I don't know if it's the injury or, he's not making the correct reads. I think that Odell Beckham has been a thorn in his side. Every time he's there, just can't figure it out with him. It's horrible. But I still want to have hope that he is it, because this has been one of my favorite things to say is that we have not played ring around the quarterback. Whoever, I don't know, pulling guys out of high school, to play. I'm sick of that. So I'm saying I'm kind of undecided, and I'm hoping.
Okay.
Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Baker Mayfield can lead this franchise to a Super Bowl. But here's what that whole term franchise quarterback. What is a franchise quarterback? A franchise quarterback to me is an elite quarterback. It's somebody like an Aaron Rodgers, a Joe Montana. And that's one thing even with Bernie Kosar. I know it's blasphemy to say this, but Bernie Kosar wasn't a franchise quarterback. He was our franchise's quarterback, and he's a great quarterback when everything's put in place.
Oh, okay.
But there's a reason why Joe Montana, John Elway, those elite quarterbacks that are franchise quarterbacks went to the Super Bowl and Bernie didn't. Now I know Bernie did with the Cowboys, took a knee and he got his ring. Good for Bernie, but I think Baker's in the same category. Do I think that he is I watched Josh Allen the other day, and I'm just in awe of him. He is so good. He's like a LeBron James, to be that good, 6'6", and to be able to do what he does. But that doesn't take away what Baker can be either. Baker, he doesn't make mistakes. No turnovers the other day. I mean, that's one thing I love about Baker. And he is hurt, so it's kind of hard to really judge the deep balls and stuff, because he was very accurate, a couple of years ago with the deep balls as well. So I don't think he just forgot how to do that. I obviously think there's some physical impairments that are enabling him to do so. But I think Baker is our guy. I think that, Bernie had limitations. Baker has limitations. But once again, that's the whole Cleveland, the underdog. It's like he is the perfect quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and he will win us a Super Bowl. And it won't be as sexy as maybe Josh Allen could do it, but who cares? When the Cavs won it, it was gritty. It wasn't the whole Chicago Bulls and we're going to kill. It was, LeBron James playing defense. That's how we really won a championship. We played defense. We locked down. We shut them down, and that's how we're going to do it in Cleveland. And Baker's our guy. Baker's he is the epitome of everything that is right about hard work, determination, overcoming, and Cleveland is the same way, and that's why I love it, and it's in our DNA, Andy.
Sorry. I hope you took aspirin for the headache that's coming. Anyway, Crutch, break us down. Who won that one?
Okay. I'm actually going to give this one legitimately to Ed. Unfortunately, he won it in the first 30 seconds or 40 seconds. The rest of it was just, over. But the whole, he had me on a little wave there. For a second, I thought he was going to bash Kosar, and I was going to be like, oh, my God. But then he kind of pulled me back in. So I'm good with it. I'm going Ed.
All right, Roger?
This is a tough one because I think
it's very hard to remember
with my questions. Franchise quarterback, that's relative to each and every person. Like, we have different opinions. I don't think elite means as much as a leader. You know what? Baker Mayfield's he's a leader. People follow him. He's got heart. To me, that defines a franchise quarterback. I'm going to give this one to Ed, though, because he had, like you said, in the first 40 seconds.
Well, it's hard to remember what Kelly said, but I remember I've listened to this when I recorded it. I edited it. I remember being very impressed with what Kelly said, but after Ed goes on for 15 minutes, it's hard to remember what she even said. But I was impressed, so I'm going to give it to Kelly.
Okay.
Which means we're in a 2-2 tie going into the final question. Oh, my God. Unfortunately, Ed's going to answer first. Again, I just want to warn our audience or whatever, if you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to walk the dog, go ahead and do that. If it takes 10 minutes, you're going to be fine. Although I will say, the leaps he takes from the question that I asked, where he ends up getting, it's actually kind of an amazing situation. Like, how this guy is not in a mental asylum, I don't know. But anyway, let's stop promoting it. Let's just get to it. Good luck. If you could sit in your chair through this without having to go to the bathroom or something, that's props to you. So anyway, here we go. I'm gonna mute. What do the Cleveland Browns mean to you?
They mean everything. I remember 1995. I was 15 years old, and I lived in Columbus. But we went up to Cleveland. I got myself an Indians jacket. They had just come off losing the World Series to Atlanta. And I remember driving past on 90 Old Cleveland Municipal Stadium, and it had a kind of an eerie kind of feeling. And that Saturday night, Sunday morning, Will McDonough, who used to be a reporter for in Boston, he would do the NBC games with Bob Costas when the AFC package was with NBC. And Will McDonough reported that Art Modell was moving the team to Baltimore. And people were kind of shocked at the time, and I wasn't, because when Will McDonough said something, it was the truth. And my heart sank. It was the same feeling I had in 1992 in July when I moved to Columbus. You know, I'm from Cleveland. I lived in Grand Rapids for 4 years. We had moved back to Cleveland, and I thought I was going to live there the rest of my life. And then when my dad lost his job because he's a press room supervisor, and he got a job at the Dispatch. And I remember when the U-Haul pulled up, and I'm like, I'm leaving. It was kind of like Odysseus, you know, trying to get back home. And I just felt like it's some kind of Greek Odyssey, and that's how I feel about the Cleveland Browns. And I feel like it is their journey and their destiny to win a Super Bowl, and I think it's finally coming to fruition. And it just enwraps everything that's about Northeast Ohio. And I'll say this too, and I know this is kind of sad, but in 1989 was the last time that we won a division championship, and I'll never forget. I lived in North Olmsted. And I know this name is synonymous with Northeast Ohio, and I know it hasn't been brought up a lot, but Amy Mahalovic. When Amy Mahalovic was abducted and they found her body 6 months later in February, I'll never forget that picture. And I don't think a lot of people in Northeast Ohio, when you see that picture of her, and it's just like, it's kind of sad to think about it, but the last time that she was on Earth, that was the last time the Browns won the division. And it kind of puts it in the perspective, a whole life perspective for me. And I think that maybe I'm going a little bit too deep with this, but that's how much the Browns are ingrained in me and everything about Northeast Ohio. And maybe, honestly, right now, I'm just missing being a Clevelander. Like, I think you guys are so lucky. Like, when I come home and I see Columbus and downtown Columbus, don't get me wrong, I love Columbus, you know, but you guys get to be in the land, like what's happening. Like your normal everyday life is in Cleveland. And I don't know. I just think I would pinch myself to be able to have that life, or to have my life right now, but to be able to have it in Cleveland. I think you guys are so lucky, and I'm so proud to be a Clevelander, but you guys get to live it every day. And I think a lot of times people take that for granted, and you guys just don't know how lucky you are to live in such a great city. It's so wonderful. Columbus is a town. Cleveland is a city, and I just love it. And I can't say more great words about it.
It's been part of who I am. Like, literally before my parents knew if I was a boy or girl, because they didn't know until they had me, I had a Brown shirt. Like, my mom is pregnant, like, you got to get here for the Browns game, holding up my little Brown shirt. So, like, before I even knew if I was a boy or a girl, I was a Browns fan. Fun fact, I'm named after Leroy Kelly. So, I mean, it's, like, embedded in me as a human. Like, I don't know who I'd be without the Browns. Like, I don't even know myself without them. I mean, I had to live without them for a little bit, but I still wore my Browns every Super Bowl Sunday, Browns gear, because one day it's going to be them. So, I've just been like that. Even when we weren't here, I still wore my Browns every Sunday. Just how it is. It's in who you are.
Whew. All right. Crutch, help us make sense.
All right. Jesus. I wore protection for my eyes. No one told me I needed protection for my ears. Oh, Jesus. Kelly won that without even having to if she just said nothing, you won it. And I do have is Kelly originally from Cleveland too?
I believe they both are, but I'm not 100% certain.
Oh, okay. I was just kind of curious as why she's got such deep Browns roots, but yeah, she won it easy, hands down. Right. Easiest answer of them all.
You didn't like the Amy the story about the poor girl that lost her life?
Yeah, that was a little weird. Yeah, the last time she was did she even, maybe she doesn't even know, like she never even watched the Browns game. Who knows if she cared about that.
I like when he goes, I might be getting a little too deep here. All right. Sorry, Roger, what say you?
They're both good answers, but Ed touched me. I have a brother-in-law who lives in Clearwater, lives in Jacksonville, Florida, and he's a Browns fan. He's not a Jaguars fan. He's a Browns fan, and he's a Browns fan because he used to go to Indian spring trainings as a little kid, and that's how he fell in love with the city of Cleveland, the Cleveland Indians, and the Cleveland Browns. And then when he was a kid, they didn't have the Jaguars, but yeah, I'm going to go with Ed on this one. I could live anywhere in the world. The one reason why I wouldn't move anywhere in the world and stay in Cleveland is because of the Cleveland Browns. If I had to fight or try to figure out how to watch the Browns on Sunday, like he can't watch the Browns unless they're nationally televised down there. Right now there's not a, without paying a lot of money, I guess he said. Yeah, man, I got to go with Ed on that. Yeah, he went deep, but I'm going to give it to Ed.
All right. Crutch, do you have anything to say to that? You look like you were. Nope. All right.
The Browns games are.
Yeah.
I was just saying the Browns are always on TV.
But wasn't there times when they weren't doing so well that occasionally Columbus would pull the Cincinnati game market?
Yeah, but they haven't done that for 2 years. They've done that for two. I mean, so
Browns have been competitive. All right. I am going to pull a very lame card here. I don't want to decide this. I think I love that Ed went deep. I love when he this. It's hilarious when he does this. I know for a fact that we did a bonus question and they both had answers that were pretty similarly sized. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to punt on this answer. We're going to do the bonus question and I will go first. And we'll leave it. We'll leave it with our special fan Crutchville to make the decision in case Roger and I don't. So listen very carefully. We're going to declare the better Twitter follower as endorsed by the Dog Chug. So, yeah, you got to think very carefully here. Let's go. So you just invented time travel, and you have the ability to go back to the 2018 draft. Who are you taking first overall?
2018.
Where we took our
Josh Allen, I guess.
Okay.
That's what I'm going. I just watched him the other day, and he was dominant. So, that's the first one that comes to my mind.
You're taking him over Baker because he was dominant in one game you watched.
I just felt like he had a better, more of a level head. Right. And to be honest with you, I love Baker now, but I saw Johnny 2.0, and I didn't want to go down that route. I saw the videos of him running from the cops and all that, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. And can I say something about quarterbacks? Let's just add this in because I'm going to go Ed moment real quick. I'm tired of having short quarterbacks. I want a tall, we play in the AFC North. I need a tall guy that can see over the line. I need dare I say, Ben Roethlisberger. I want a big, meaty guy. I'm sick of these little short shrimps. I'm just saying it.
With the first overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. Sorry, Baker.
Are you going to expound on that a little bit?
The dude's 6'6". You know what he is? He's everything Baker is, but just bigger. And I think that's why I do love Baker, because I see some of the things that he does and just he wows me. Baker wows me with the physical limitations that he has, but he can still do it. Josh Allen just wows me because it's damn, it just looks so easy for him. And it would be nice, especially in the AFC North with the defenses that we play. I mean, he is a prototypical perfect quarterback, but we've never had that in Cleveland. Maybe never will. I just want a Super Bowl trophy. I don't care who's playing quarterback. Sign Lucifer up if he's going to guarantee us one before I die. Oh well. Hey, that's between me and God when it's all said and done. But I just want to party.
Sum up.
You're muted again.
Sorry. Okay. So now I got to decide between those horrible answers. Oof. So I just got to say, whatever. To say Josh Allen is at the level of Baker, as far as level-headedness, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Not to get weird political on here, but isn't Josh Allen an anti-vaxxer? And our quarterback was I want to do right by the team. I think our quarterback has intangibles that Josh Allen just doesn't have. He looks really pretty out there throwing passes, sure. But at the end of the day, he's a loser. That's what I think. It's all a long way to say that I'm going Ed. I'm going Ed. Roger, what say you?
Myself, I wanted Baker Mayfield. First time I saw him play was against Ohio State, where I watched the entire game. I wanted Baker Mayfield right out. What's it?
Continue.
Oh. Josh Allen got his teeth kicked in last year in a big game when it mattered. He looked great all year last year. He was an MVP candidate. He folded under pressure too in the big game. Some of the things that Baker Mayfield gets criticized for now in week 5 and week 4 and week 1. I take Baker Mayfield hands down. Can I vote for neither one of them on that answer? Baker Mayfield's my quarterback. If I have to give it to one, if I have to give it to one, I'm going to give it to Ed.
All right, let's pretend you didn't have an answer there, just in case. Crutch, what say you?
Okay. I just want to remind everybody, we're not evaluating their answer. We're evaluating how they answer as what's more entertaining. I'm going to go with Ed because I really like after he picks Allen, he has that little sad, I'm sorry, Baker. So I was more entertained by Ed's answer in that case.
Okay. Well, the Dog Chug has just endorsed Ed as the better Twitter follower in that family. Until one of their children start tweeting, I think this is going to stand. So we'll have to revisit, obviously, down the road. But wow, that is amazing. Ed, I hope your Twitter followers jump from 714 to like 806, my friend. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to do a couple more things that are going to be a lot of fun. Sorry this is going so late. We're going to try and go quick. But it's one of our favorite games, obviously. Everything is our favorite game around here. My daughter picks 3 NFL games against the spread, and we all, the 3 of us, are going to pick a winner that we think and explain why real quick. She picked 3 games before we started. So the first game that she picked is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Philadelphia Eagles, who the Eagles are actually getting 7.5 points. And by the way, before we even talk about this, we should mention the updated scores. The fans are at, hold on. Apologize for the delay. Here we go. Why isn't that what I wanted? Okay. Just to give a quick score update, because that's very important. The fans are at 8. My daughter, Krista, is tied with the lead at 8. Roger, you are at 7, and I am just in 4th place with 2 correct answers out of 15, which is pretty spectacular. So having said all that, like I said, Crutch, the first game is Tampa Bay at Eagles. Eagles are getting 7.5 points. What say you? This is obviously the Thursday night football game that will be on tomorrow.
I'm going to take Eagles in the points. I think if you get more than 7, that's a good deal. I got to roll with that. And Eagles have been pretty surprising.
All right, Roger.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I'll take the 7. I'm with Mike on that one. Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles as 7.
I also took the Eagles, and it's pretty much give me that many points at home. I'm going to take it every time. All right, we're going to move on.
What did Krista pick?
Krista, well, I go through Krista's picks. She picked the Buccaneers, so
okay.
She's going to be able to send out the chug. She was the lone dissenter. Game number 2 is the Dolphins are at the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars are getting 3.5 points. Roger, let's start with you on this one.
I would take Jacksonville now. Our team is in. Yeah, I'll give the points. I miss who they're playing. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not taking Jacksonville. I don't care how many points they're getting. So,
The Dolphins.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that.
I'm actually taking the Jaguars. I take them every time they come up. I don't know why my daughter always picks Jacksonville. Like she must like the Dolphin or something. You know? Dolphin, whatever. Yeah, whatever their stupid logo is. The it's some kind of cat, right?
It's a Jaguar.
Yeah. Oh. By the way, this is terrible. I've never had a chance to really describe how bad it is.
Yeah, that would be a Jaguar, Randy.
Yeah, it's a Jaguar. She loves, obviously, Jaguars and picks this game every time. She usually bets against them, though, but I always bet with them. I'm betting Jaguars. There we are. Grutch, what say you?
Dolphins. I have no faith in the Jags.
All right. And the final game is the Minnesota Vikings at the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are getting 1 point. So it's a pretty close game. Crutch, we're going to start with you.
Well, I'm going to roll with I'm going to go with the Vikings. Since our trip to Minnesota, if there was another NFL team to become a fan of, I might become a Minnesota Vikings fan just because I enjoyed Minnesota so much.
And that was the town you became a vegetarian in?
Yes.
All right. Roger, what say you? We like dead air on this podcast, Roger.
You said the Panthers are getting a point? It doesn't make Carolina.
I'm taking the Panthers. All right. I also pick the Panthers as there will be no skull going on in Carolina. And that's the obviously the lifeblood the Vikings need. Without that, they're nothing. Krista also took the Dolphins, and she also took the Panthers. So see how that goes next week. And basically, we're down to the best part of the show. We're going to play the game with Mike Crutchfield.
Yay!
So here's what's going to happen, Mike. We're going to ask questions of a fan of the Browns, and you're going to have to decide, does this fan know the answer, or are they going to get it right?
Okay.
Nope, I said that incorrectly. Do they know the answer, or are they going to get it wrong? All you have to do is correctly guess 3 out of 5 right, and you will be entered into the drawing to come to the Cincinnati Bengals Cleveland Browns game with me and Roger, which is a huge honor. We are very fun.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
And you basically, did this. You actually asked the question, so you're in a unique position where you'll have some perspective if the fan will know the answers or not, right?
Yes.
Pretty excited. Are you excited?
Oh, I can't. I'm giddy. I'm giddy with excitement.
Roger, do you think Mike's gonna win this game, or is he gonna fail?
You know what? I don't think so, because I think your wife. I don't think he stands a chance. But I'll sit back and see.
I don't know that we wanted him to know.
I think it's going to be a lot harder. When you explained it to me earlier, I was like, "Oh, Mike's in trouble."
All right. Well, let's see how Mike does. I'm going to mute my mic, and if I come back in and I don't unmute, please remind me. But here comes question number 1. Will this fan know the answer, or will they not? The Cleveland Browns play in the AFC North with 3 other teams. Name one. All right. So that was obviously my wife. Will Heather be able to say one other team that plays in the AFC North? Yes or no?
Yes, she will.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right.
Oh,
Crushes 1-0. Good job, bud. All right. Moving on to question number 2. Right. Before Browns games, when the game is in Cleveland, where do Browns fans go to tailgate? All right. Now, if she says the pit or the Muni or any parking lot downtown, I'm going to accept it. Will she be able to come up with one tailgate location?
I think she's got to. I mean, I know for a fact she's been there. So, but she did bring the juice, and the juice has a way of wiping people's memories. I'm going to say yes, but I'm really scared.
Fair enough. Let's go.
The Muni lot.
Correct.
Yes.
2-0. Literally, all you need to do is get one more right, and you are in the drawing. All right. Should we do this?
Yeah.
What is the name of the Cleveland Browns head coach?
I think she knows that. I mean, all Cleveland ladies seem to know it. I'm going to go with she knows it. Does she have to pronounce it correctly?
We'll be liberal a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
I'm going to go, yeah, she's got it.
All right.
John Stefanski.
All right, Roger. Roger, help me out. Does that count? What say you? Does John Stefanski count, or is that not a right answer? We love dead air on this channel, so think about it for 27 minutes.
We could get the other two, and then we'll come back to, if I get them wrong, we'll come back to Roger to see if I won or not.
All right. Roger, you keep thinking. Let's see if he does. If we need it. Maybe he doesn't need it. All right. Here comes question number 4. The Browns have played 5 games so far this season. What is their record? Okay. So does Heather know we're 3-2?
What's that? Oh, yeah. I'm going to say she doesn't know. I'm just nothing against her. I'm just going to guess that she just doesn't. She's not that, she's a fan. She's clued in, but keeping the numbers straight is not, she's not going to be able to do it.
All right. Let's find out if you're right.
They have won 3. They have lost 2.
Oh, man.
Dude, you have no idea how blown away I was on that one. Like, I had to okay. So we still have question number 5, and we still have Roger chiming in that he thinks you got that one right. So
Debate, yeah. Suspenseful.
This is intense. So here we go. Question number 5. What city did your husband travel to watch the Browns play last week? All right, obviously, we all went to watch them play the Minnesota Vikings. Does Heather know the city that we were in?
Okay. I'm going to say that she does, because Oh man, I'm gonna say she does. I just feel like she's so in tune with what you're up to. She's got to know where you're at. I can't imagine that that you go somewhere and she's not exactly sure what city in the country you're going to. So, fingers crossed. Give it to me.
Let's go.
Minnesota.
That's right.
Oh.
Fresh wins! Wow. Roger, what would your answer have been? Would John Stefanski count as our head coach?
He got tied up on the pronunciation, what the thing was, right?
He said if she doesn't pronounce it exactly
I'm losing
correctly,
you.
it'll count. We said we'll be liberal. Okay. Yeah, we said we'll be liberal with pronunciation, but she said John Stefanski. She got the name right. She just didn't get the first name right. So does that count?
Oh, she said John Stefanski.
Yes.
Not if she didn't have the name right.
All right. Well, thank God you got that fifth one right. I think I have one bonus question. Should we play the bonus question just for a little bit of fun? See how you would do going 4 for 6. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Does Myles Garrett play offense or defense?
I'm looking at the fear in her eyes there. I'm gonna say no. She doesn't know. I think she's like, "Oh crap."
Defense.
Ooh.
Wow, you got very lucky.
Yeah, I did.
You are in the drawing, my friend.
Yeah.
So
And
on you.
And I should have said that's kind of it doesn't look like that was a 50-50. But we should know, the fans should know your dog's name is
Myles. Yes.
So.
That doesn't help her know that offense or defense. I should have asked her, is Baker Mayfield on offense or defense? I don't know that you would know that one. Anyway, all right. Well, this has been probably our best episode yet, I think. I'd love to go out on this final dumb question. We're playing the Arizona Cardinals in just 4 days. Who is going to be the MVP of that game? We're going to start with you.
Ooh. Oh, the MVP?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Jeremiah Osawoka or something or other. JOK. He's gonna be huge in this game.
I love that you tried to do that. Roger, what say you?
I'm going to go with my quarterback. I think when it's all said and done this year, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with an extreme answer out here. I'm probably going to look like an idiot, but the good news about making an idiotic answer is no one's watching, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go with Odell's going to get it done. He's going to have that game that we've been waiting for him to have. It's going to be phenomenal to watch it happen. Him and Baker are going to be hugging, and I'm all for that. Odell Beckham Jr., MVP.
Nice. What about a bonus? The MVP turns out to be the Scottish Hammer for averaging 70 yards.
If the Scottish Hammer is the MVP, then I think we all need to send him an apology letter for spitting on his We also need to send Andrew Berry an apology letter for letting it get to this point where we criticized him. So yes,
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I hope Scott Hammer has an amazing game. I do love the guy. You've been watching the thing go down. Like, at what point do you say, "All right, enough's enough"?
Yeah.
I hit that point this past week.
I don't even know if the Scottish Hammer is going to be around by the end of the year alone. If he doesn't get it together, they're going to have to bring some competition in. So,
I just want to point out that I did drink that entire awful. Like, I don't know what Bud Light Seltzer's thinking. Like, I think they're punking us. I think they're just saying how gross. Like, they should just do like shit flavor next time. Like human shit, donkey shit, whatever. Goat shit. Goat shit apparently is really bad from what I hear from my farm friends. That would be better than what this was apparently, but whatever. Finish this like a man. Michael Crutchfield, thank you so much for jumping on and playing the games and having a good time. This was your best episode yet. Last time you sucked. This was amazing. Roger, thank you for hearing like 70% of what we were saying. I appreciate that. You are the greatest. I could never do this without you. This has been so much fun. I cannot wait till we get Kyle on here to do a drinking challenge. That's what this podcast needs, a drinking challenge. Mm-hmm. Anyone watching, if the three of you that are still here want to do a drinking challenge, come up with terms. Let's go. All right. With that, I think we should sign off like men and go Browns.
Go Browns.
Roger, you have anything left to say?
Go Browns.
Anything more interesting than that? I mean, it seems like a thought.
I think everybody just needs to settle down. We're early in the season, and let's just support our football team and all the players on it right now. That's what I wish would happen. Go Browns.
Just support your team. Like, encourage, like, root for your team. That's all it takes. If you can do that, you're someone I want to follow. Anyway, all right. With that, let's end this. Sorry to everyone that's still with us. This has literally been, I think, our longest. No, an hour and 22. We're 45 minutes off that measure. So anyway, thank you for everyone for being here, and go Browns.
Go Browns.
Roger, waiting on you.